health of climate activist Sonam Wangchuk, who has been on an indefinite hunger strike, has become a matter of serious concern, even as he remains firm on continuing his protest. Doctors monitoring Wangchuk say that he has lost nearly 9 kilograms, bringing his weight down to around 56 kilograms. According to senior physician Dr. Satish Lamba, Wangchuk has lost muscle mass and his uric acid levels have also increased, while his blood sugar and pulse remain within normal limits. Doctors have also warned that the next stage of prolonged fasting could be alarming if the hunger strike continues. The issue has also reached the Delhi High Court, which has directed the government to monitor Wangchuk's health on a daily basis. And during the hearing, the court observed that every citizen's life is precious, while the government assured the court that his health would be closely monitored. Now, despite growing concerns, Wangchuk has made it amply clear that he will not end his hunger strike immediately. In a recent video message, he said that ending the fast now would send the wrong message that the protest is not serious. However, he added that his medical reports indicate that he can continue for some more time and urged supporters to participate in the peaceful march to Parliament instead of asking him to end his fast. According to Wangchuk, the government must take concrete steps to address the issues raised by the movement if it wants the protest to end. His key demands include comprehensive reforms in the education system, accountability for the alleged NEET-UG 2026 paper leak, and the resignation of Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. The spotlight is now on whether the centre responds to Wangchuk's demands and opens a dialogue to bring the prolonged hunger strike to an end. For Sonam Wangchuk to end his hunger strike, the government would need to engage in meaningful dialogue and respond to his key demands like initiating education reforms, ensuring accountability in the alleged NEET-UG 2026 paper leak, and addressing his demand for action against Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. My colleague Brijesh Pandey is joining me right now to get us more details. Well, Brijesh, we've seen Dimple Yadav went to meet Sonam Wangchuk. We saw Akhilesh Yadav's also representatives had also gone to meet him. Pawan Khera has gone and met him. Several other politicians have gone and met Sonam Wangchuk. What is stopping the government from establishing a channel of dialogue with Sonam Wangchuk? The government can definitely have its reservation over the issues that are being raised by Sonam Wangchuk, but why can't it come on the talking table?
Well, I think, the government feels that this particular hunger strike by Sonam Wangchuk is something which is clearly indictment of not only Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan, but in a way, the central government as well. And it's going to be extremely interesting, I mean, what has happened till now has happened, but it'll be extremely interesting to see how this pans out post 20th, because, on 20th, the first day of the Parliament session starts, and Sonam Wangchuk has already appealed to his protest supporters to gather at Jantar Mantar for a march to Parliament. And I think that is something which is going to be incredibly interesting, because, then the entire opposition will also be in Delhi. And I think, most of these lawmakers are going to raise the issue of Sonam Wangchuk. We have seen Delhi High Court already expressing concern. We have heard, Supreme Court Bar Association, its President Vikas Singh met Sonam Wangchuk yesterday, and today they have passed a resolution saying that, they are extremely concerned about his health and all. So I think, from 20th onward, the pressure on the government is likely to increase manifold, and it'll be very interesting to see what all demand do they meet of Sonam Wangchuk if they initiate or start a dialogue with Sonam Wangchuk vis-a-vis the demands which have been raised by him, which is, a complete overhaul of the educational system, as well as removing Dharmendra Pradhan as the education minister. So, it's going to be very, very fascinating to see how it pans out on 20th of this month.
But Brijesh, this is not the first time around we're looking at someone sitting for an indefinite hunger strike. Unfortunately, G.D. Agarwal, the environmentalist who did fast unto death for Ganga, went completely unnoticed from the government, and government does not establish a channel of dialogue with him. But historically, we have seen whether it is Anna Hazare, Irom Sharmila, all of them fasted for a very long time. But there were certain back channel talks, there were certain intermediaries who were trying to bring about some conversation between the two ends. In this situation, it is concerning a person's health for sure, but it also the government shying away from a dialogue?
Well, I think, the government the side is always that, if they start capitulating to every demand made by people who are sitting there on dharna, then there's no way they can run the government. There's no way they can frame any kind of policy, and there's no way they can move forward vis-a-vis the task which has been entrusted on them by the Constitution.
But Brajesh, sorry to interject over here, but this is not just anybody. He is Sonam Wangchuk. He is somebody who the government themselves has awarded on several occasions. They have brought him on consultative committees also when it comes to Ladakh. They have held talks with Sonam Wangchuk earlier. He is not just anybody. He is somebody of a repute.
Well, the same somebody of repute the government had put behind bars for 5 months, and nobody, spoke a word about it. The same Sonam Wangchuk was arrested by the same government under the charges that, he was taking help from people outside the country. He was bundled off to a jail in Jaipur, and he was there incarcerated for more than 6 months. Nothing happened. Sonam Wangchuk came out, and the situation or the charges on which he was arrested didn't, or the story about that didn't move any forward. See, the fact of the matter is that Sonam Wangchuk, of course, he's a pretty renowned person, someone who has always praised Prime Minister Narendra Modi and has been a pretty, a big advocate of certain government policies. The fact of the matter is that now, that is the reason why I said that, we have to wait for 20th to see how this pans out politically for the government, because right now, barring a smattering of political leaders like Dimple Yadav or, Chandrasekhar and couple of other political leaders, it's not that the entire opposition has also descended down at Jantar Mantar expressing or voicing their support. So it'll be very interesting to see, because, if you remember, if you go by what is there on the social media, the fact of the matter is that that there's a line in the Congress also which is encouraging, which is asking the Congress leadership to not engage with Sonam Wangchuk, as they feel that this is going to be Anna Hazare Part 2. So, there's a lot of political formulation which is happening right now, and I think, the real deal is something which will start on 20th of July, where we see what steps the government takes. Does the government formally announces some sort of communication with Sonam Wangchuk? How long can Sonam Wangchuk continue, because his health is indeed in an extremely critical state and needs to be taken care of. So I think it'll be interesting to see whether the government opens the line of communication either today, tomorrow, or day after, before the start of the parliament session, because I think once the parliament session starts and we have all the lawmakers in the national capital, I think the political temperature at Jantar Mantar is likely to increase.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brajesh, for sharing all those details. We shall leave it at that for the moment.